Today we're going to be doing Wylock 5th grade lesson 8, write and evaluate expressions. So, write an algebraic expression for each word phrase. Um, so, so number one says some number plus 6. So, whenever we see something like they just say number or like some number, we're going to assume that it's a variable. So we could just say that this is some number, we could just call it x. And then plus 6, which is just plus 6, adding 6. And that would just be your final answer. So let's try number 2 now. 8 less than a number. So once again, we see a number popping up again. So we can just put in x for that. And then 8 less than a number, which means that whatever we're trying to find here is 8 less than this. So it would be x minus 8. And number 3, some number multiplied by 5. So let's say our number is x, some number again, and then multiplied by 5. So we multiplied this number by 5. Now, 7 more than a number. So once again, just a number. And then we add 7 to it because it's 7 more. Now we see the product of a number and 9. And when we see the product, we know that the product is what you get when you multiply two numbers together. So that means that you need to multiply the number and 9 together. So the number x times 9. 12 divided by some number. So 12 divided by some number. So we know that there's 12, and we know that some number is going to be x again. So 12 divided by some number. So the difference between a number and 3. Now, the difference means what you subtract. The answer you get when you subtract two things. So the difference between a number and 3, and we know a number is just going to be x again, so x minus 3. And now, twice a number. This means that it would be the number, but just 2 of it. So which means that it would be the same thing as 2 times x. Now for number 9, we can move on to this a little faster now. So we know 3 times a number. We're gonna know that's, or 4 less than 3 times a number. So first off, we'll do 3 times a number. So 3 times a number. So that would be 3 times x. And then 4 less than this whole thing. So 3 times x, and then we would subtract 4 because it's 4 less. Now, half of some number plus 10. So once again, half means that we're dividing it by 2. So half is 1 over 2. So 1/2 of x. So it's the same thing as 2 divided by x. Or sorry, x divided by 2. And then we add 10 plus 10. Now the sum of a number and 15. The sum is just adding two numbers together. So it would be x plus 15. And 10 subtracted from a number. So we would do x and then subtract 10 from it. Now translate each algebraic expression into words. So we know that these letters here are variables and they represent the number. So we would say, since it's k plus 9, we could say the sum of a number, which is k here, and 9. Now if we try 2 here, we know that when we subtract two numbers, the answer would be called the difference. So we could say the difference of a number, or of 11 and a number. And in this case, z is our number. Now again, we could do the sum because we're adding two numbers together. So here we would do the sum of 14 and a number. Now number 4, subtracting, so it's difference. So we would say the difference of a number and 5. Now 7 plus y, we know that this is adding, so the sum of 7 and a number. Now this time we're dividing. Dividing means that, like, we would just say a number, which is m, divided by 4. And then 3p is the equivalent to 3 times p. 3 times p. So we would just say the product of 3 and a number, which is p in this case. And now we run into this squared. So this means that the number is to the second power, which is the same thing as a times a. So this is the same thing as a times a minus 8. So we could write this as twice a number subtracted by 8. Because this is the same thing as just twice a number, a times a. We're multiplying it. And then 2x plus 6. So this is equivalent to multiplying x and 2, so the product of 2 and a number added by 6. Number 10, w minus 12, the difference of a number and 12. 5 plus 2n, the sum of 5 and 2 times n, sum, and the product of 2 and n, or the number. Here, b divided by 7 plus 3, then a number divided by 7 added to 3. So 9k minus 4 is the same thing as 9 times k, so a number, or the product of a number and 9 subtracted by 4. Write an algebraic expression for each word phrase. Use the variable x to represent the unknown number. Okay, so subtract 10 from a number. So we would have x, which is the number, and then subtract 10 from it. Now for number 3, 3 more than a number. So it would just be x, and then we add 3, because it's just 3 more. Once again for number 5, a number plus 1, which is just x plus 1. And let's try 8. Take 15 away from a number. So it would be x, and then we take 15 away, which is subtracting 15. So now here for number 10, it says 6 is reduced by a number. This means that 6 is reduced by a number, which is the equivalent to subtracting. So we would have 6 and then reduce it by x, the number.